Okay. Hello, everyone. This is a new thing we're trying. Let's see if this works. I'm Alex.
I'm Kelly.
Hopefully, everything sounds really good. We're going to try to listen to this, but we're just going to go for it. We've been having a lot of fun time with audio issues and all kinds of stuff. So, Kelly and I are going to talk about some of the things that we want to upgrade with this setup. Now, the first episode is going to be kind of like the lost episode. It's going to be mostly about us kind of faffing about and figuring things out and what we want to do. So, the sound I know is kind of weird. We try to get it so that it sounds pretty good, but there could be problems. So, I know that there's reverb, and you guys can hear her, but you can also hear me.
Completely obnoxious.
Yes.
Like an anime schoolgirl.
Now, real quick, I'm going to turn up your mic because I think it's a little low again.
Mm-hmm.
Again, you're
point
going to hear a
here.
lot of reverb because of me, but
Yeah. This is
All
a
right.
learning experience that we want to take you on with us.
yes, this is
That's the
just
point.
for fun, basically. So we're learning, and this is what we're doing. So, also the music in the background I think is a good level. I'm trying to listen to everything and record at the same time. So, basically, we have a bunch of things that we want to talk about just for fun. And today we're going to do questions, but we're also going to talk about things that I think the stream needs. Now, obviously, in the background here, there's just like a random picture of the Milky Way galaxy. I have a bunch of ideas on different backgrounds and stuff. Right now, we just kind of made the thing smaller, and there's something there. I have a transparency idea and some other ideas for scenes and stuff. We're going to do that. And then I have a few different icons and logos and stuff I got from Fiverr. We'll see how that goes. And then we're also going to be streaming it directly to my Facebook at some point, YouTube, and Twitch.
Maybe mine too. We'll see.
Yes, we'll see.
We're exploring that idea. Give us input if you're actually listening.
Agree. Sorry, I am talking over her because I'm just talking a lot. Sorry about that.
We're learning.
Yes, sorry, Kelly. So we're going to do that. I'm going to see about getting her a mic stand because right now she has it on a box. Don't.
Unless you guys want me to do this the whole time.
I think that sounds a lot better, actually.
Yeah? Just like,
Yeah,
hello,
go ahead.
sportscasters.
Oh my
I would
God.
be a terrible sportscaster.
You think so?
Oh, yeah, I love sports.
What
but
about
I
Penn
would
State?
not be.
Come on.
We are Penn State. Yeah, just because I know it and watch it doesn't mean I would be good at
Oh,
being
okay.
a sportscaster.
I'd be like, okay, so I would be like, hey, they're moving across the field. That's
And
all
now
I
we
got.
have this guy who's crossing the field. I think he's playing for the team that we're rooting for.
Yes. This guy's 42 and he says white and blue. I don't
Sports
know.
ball. Is this what we're about to play? What sport is this again?
Yes.
Sports ball. I don't know.
Soccer. All right. So, yeah. Okay. So I want to do it so that it's set up on the stream. I want to do it so that we can get it. Like, there's going to be like things popping up on the screen, or when we talk about certain videos or whatever, we'll have a different screen. We'll have different scenes here. We're going to have. Basically, our talking scene is going to be different, so it's going to flash between them. I have already stingers and transitions and stuff, so anybody that knows streaming stuff will already know this stuff. But that's kind of the idea. I want it to be a little bit more professional. We just kind of said, why not just get started with it?
I'm trying to get him to rip off the Band-Aid and just
I know,
take a chance at it. He's
I-
a perfectionist.
I want it to be perfect, okay?
Exactly.
It needs to be perfect, and that's just like everything in my life. Also, I hope the background looks pretty good. We try to clean up a little bit.
Look at these cool hexagons.
Oh
I'm
yeah,
obsessed.
I gotta get that paint stuff fixed. But anyway,
No one can see that.
oh, everybody can see that now. I just put it out.
Mhm.
We're done. So this is my house, and this is where all the streaming setup is. Kelly's house nothing will ever happen there, probably. Hey, listen, the setup
We're
isn't
gonna give you
over
guys
there.
a vlogging episode.
Yeah,
and
we're gonna like go
carry
around
the-
each other's houses or whatever. Anyway,
Today's episode of Cribs.
Cribs, yes, exactly. Cribs MTV. So
Cribs
we're
MTV.
adversity. Oh my God, there we go.
Bring it in.
That's another thing we got to think about. We got to think about the name of the podcast. Now, I have no idea. Me and Kelly are best friends, and I don't know. I have a hard time coming up with things. I have a good idea, and I'm very good at like cleaning things up. I'm not good at coming up with new things. So I might need help with that. We might also just do a random name generator and just go with it. I don't know. I had a few different ideas, and then I just kept forgetting them and whatever. So we're just, yeah. Any ideas?
I wanted to kind of get
Bestie
through.
squad. I'm sorry.
I was thinking that we go through like an episode or two where we kind of start to position this where you need it to be.
You speak into the
Wow.
ball.
Speak into the ball. I am the ball. Become the ball. Get a few episodes in, figure out kind of more how this is going to go, and I think like some ideas might come to us. So I know we're going to be nitpicking this as we go along the way, and I feel like ideas are going to just start popping up and rolling.
You're going to be nitpicking it. I'm going to be nitpicking it.
Like I'm not. I'm never critical of anything ever.
It's like an inch off, and I needed to fix it. Okay.
Anyhow, I think we should get started on some questions.
Okay, go
What do
ahead.
you think?
So these are questions that my work had sent me for some kind of HR thing, and I was like, these are perfect life questions. I wanna like sit here and just talk about them for like an hour because they're awesome. But if you
Get
guys,
to know us better a little bit so that you know who is.
it's also just an
choosing
interesting
to talk.
topic, and I just want to talk about it. We'll see.
Why not?
This is more for us than anybody else. I don't care if anybody watches this. Now,
Yeah.
hopefully, somebody watches this, but I don't really care.
A great way to learn the dynamic, back and forth conversation, how to keep it going. There's a lot to be
Good.
learned from just exchanging questions, and how to position the
sounds
mic
way better now.
appropriately. Yeah, and so Kelly can learn how to hold a freaking ball.
Okay, so again, I will get you either a mic stand or a better stand. I'm gonna get her probably another Elgato wave, and then we'll get a stand or whatever. And if I do that from that side, you'll have way better, way better. Anyway,
Which
so,
brings me to my first question.
Oh, go
What
ahead.
is one thing you spent too much money on, but don't regret?
Do you want me to answer this one first?
Well, I mean, you're just talking about buying another $100 and some odd dollar microphone for the podcast.
You know,
that
it
we
wouldn't
just
be the
started.
microphone though. I actually don't mind because again, sound quality is one of the best things that matter.
Mhm.
Are you hearing me over the speakers real quick?
I'm not. No, it's
Good.
excellent.
Okay, good. The most expensive thing that I bought that I don't regret.
No regrets. No regrets.
Headphones.
Those headphones are amazing. Can we just talk about these for just a brief moment? They're the most crazy, like, insanely good things I've ever had, like, the pleasure of experiencing. I mean, you hear everything. Like, there were depths of music that when a recording studio is making them, they're wanting you to hear. But in our normal headsets, you don't ever pick up. And yet, right there, yeah, you are really picking them up. It's amazing. You have like your favorite band listening to that song in there. Isn't that what you did for your Gram? You played one of her favorite songs when she came over.
I don't know what her
And
favorite
those-
song would be, but I just put on Shania Twain, and I know she likes that.
She
and
loved
was
it.
hilarious.
She loved it. It was adorable. She was like, well, this was such a surprise, but it was just so wonderful to experience that. I wasn't expecting that.
Would you like me to take off the stick if you're gonna hold it?
If I'm going to hold it.
This is live. We're just doing it live. There we go. Alright. We can just hear everything, all the weirdness on the. Oh, wait a minute. It's a screw. Fuck. Alright.
Together, we both like a lot of the same books. And one of the books that he got me hooked on is Will Save the Galaxy for Food. And they came up with their own swearing language in that book. And sometimes we tend to use that.
Okay,
When
I'll
swearing
go get
with
a
each other.
screwdriver. Give me a second. Oh god, we're all caught.
I'll answer the question on my end while he's doing that, I suppose. Honestly, I don't know what big purchase I've made that I don't regret. I guess my living room furniture. Does that count? I was pretty proud of that purchase. And by the way, I think I'm unscrewing it myself. Just taking an extra second.
There we go.
And that's what you get when you let your heart win.
Oh my god, that song. Alright. Okay. Get this. Okay. Alright, we're good. We're gonna need to take that off anyway so that we do that. But yeah, I love these headphones. These are, Neuer 99 Classics. These are Mezes.
I was going to say I'm reading Meze on the side.
Yeah, it says Mezes. They were showed on Dank Pod's YouTube channel. Not these ones. They were like gold or something, and these are amazing. I love these things. They're way too expensive. Or not? No, okay. They're a really good quality product for what they are. They're too expensive for me because I'm cheap. But yeah, that's awesome. My chair is also new, and this thing is amazing. If you want a desk chair, go to IKEA and buy an office chair. I've paid like $600 for different chairs over the years.
And the back pain is real with those.
And this one is perfect, and it's $150. It's amazing. I love it. Nope.
I thought of another one, which is my running shoes, but like my running shoes. Love it. Best investment I may have ever made. So the first pair, and I learned the importance of buying quality shoes, which I know you and I could talk for days.
For hours, yeah.
Oh, just on shoes. But yeah, so I, as a runner, when I was getting into the sport, I just kind of went out to Dick's with my mom once, and we bought some Under Armours, and we're like, well, Under Armour's known for sporting equipment, so it's gotta be good, right? And I ended up forming a bone injury because I didn't do the research. And so then I went to a running store, and I actually did it right and got custom insoles and got these amazing Brooks, which are like a major brand in running shoes. In a few weeks, my bone injury was resolved. I was able to run while it was healing, and I put in a good 300 to 400 miles on those shoes, which is incredible for the investment that you're making there. Like $150 to be able to get 300 to 500 miles in on anything, you're not wasting your money at all there. And then I was able to then learn that skill set to buy my next pair, and moving forward, you don't have to be dedicated to the same pair of shoes necessarily, but just understanding the quality of what you're getting to prevent injuries and to allow for improvement on. I love it. Now I'm still running in Brooks, but I went from Brooks Adrenaline 21s to Brooks Ghosts, which is currently one of the best selling running shoes on the market right now.
I don't know anything about running.
No, he doesn't.
Or any of that stuff.
But I don't know a lot about what he talks about either.
Yeah, there we go. That's why we work. There's a lot of weird stuff, but let's just go ahead. We already put at least 2 things each. Would you have another one in mind?
Oh, well, we did talk about the time machine question, right? That was one that we were thinking of talking about. A little bit. It's like, if you had a time machine, where would you travel on? Or where would you travel to? Forward or backwards? And what would you do once you were there?
Do you want me to go first?
Yeah.
Okay, so this is actually a question that the office answered. And my answer is either like 1,000 or more years in the future, when we can basically rebuild the human body. So I would be immortal. Or, what did I say? What was the other one? Do you remember what the other answer was that I said?
Remember you mentioning something about 10,000 plus years into the future because you wanted to see.
Oh, okay, yeah. So I had a nerdy answer. Yeah, so I wanted to see the advances, and I wanted to be there and basically like survive forever. But the other answer was kind of like a nerdy question. I wanted to see the Theodosian walls, which is the walls that used to surround Constantinople, Istanbul, whatever you want to call it, in the Roman era. Basically, they were built in early Roman era, and they survived to the late Roman era. And it would just be amazing to look at those giant fucking walls and be like, oh yeah, this is something I saw. Especially in like their height, and then like when they fell or like being built or whatever, that would be awesome. Yeah, what about you?
Yeah, I know you and I both had the same answer about the advance forward about at least a good 10,000 years, because I would like to see if we actually jump off the planet. Like, do we ever actually succeed in faster than light speed travel systems? Or creating some way for us to live in outer space or actually make it to another planet, like just to see how far we might actually go. Especially since that's an area of sci-fi that you and I both really, really enjoy. And those principles. But also, if answering with the back in history question, I always wanted to go back towards like either like the Roman era. I know women were definitely mistreated, so that part of it is not the appealing part to me.
I don't know about in Roman times, but medieval times.
Definitely.
Christian times, I should say. Anyway.
More so because of the value of art and culture in such a different dynamic than what we put on for today. Like the amazing architectural buildings, and there's such a different quality than we put into our efforts today, and taking the time to make them look so exquisite. And we don't do that anymore. Like you think about like the Colosseum, like
I mean,
we do marvel amazing things in architecture today, but
yeah,
it's just a difference.
I think the difference is more in like it's more natural, and I think there's something that calls to us. I don't think there's anything spiritual about it, but I think it's just we're like, oh, this is made out of stone. It's not like metal, which can hold way more than we can think. You actually have to think about how the buildings are put together. One of the good examples of that is, what is it, Japanese, Chinese castles. So they had their own set of castles, and the blocks, some of the blocks that they were like measuring and stuff fit together so well that like there were like millimeters that like, or like you couldn't even slide a piece of paper between them. So it's not a millimeter, it's way less, but
way less.
And like the level of craftsmanship to actually like carve the blocks perfectly and then put them together, not carve them in place and not use mortar or anything. They just use the natural ground and the weight of gravity pulling everything down to secure things. That's amazing. Like
Exactly.
That's the thing that's amazing. It's the technological achievement. Today we could do the same things. It just, we wouldn't see the benefit. I don't think.
Well, because our technological advancement is in a different format. For us to even fathom how they did it back then, it's hard for us.
Oh, it's just like people saying that we couldn't replicate the pyramids. We could. We could replicate the pyramids, and we could do it exactly like they did it. The problem is, like, there's nobody that's going to drag a 10,000 ton boulder, or whatever the hell the actual weight is, up a ramp. No one in modern day is going to do that. I don't care if you're, okay, boomer, and you're like
trying to think of like the world's strongest man who's happily, pulling on a tractor trailer.
Yeah, you're not going to be like, oh, hey guys, let's get like 50,000 guys and build a pyramid. That's not going to happen, and we're all going to see that as pointless. Now, we could do that with like modern equipment, but again, there would be no point. There's almost like we couldn't do it based on like economics. Like there would be no point. You would build it and then you'd basically go bankrupt. Like a billionaire could build it for fun, but like it's still no point. There's no point to it. And I think that's really kind of what they mean. They don't mean that we couldn't build it. We just mean that it would be unfeasible. And that's, yeah. Anyway, it's the same kind of thing. And I do think that we focus on different things, and nowadays it's like you throw up a metal structure and it looks so inhuman. It looks so. It looks
Even like
so
Falling
unnatural.
Waters. Falling Waters, I mean,
Exactly.
for architectural advancements, is really considered modern because it came out in like what 1970s? Question mark. I don't know. I'm not. However, it's still considered like an architectural marvel for what it is. But in the grand scheme of things, it's achievable. We could do it again. We could replicate it again. But it served its purpose. The highest skyscraper, we're always trying to make the next highest skyscraper because I don't know why. But everybody's always like trying to make the next highest building.
Listen, everybody's trying to. So this is the thing that was said on, well, There's Your Problem podcast.
Who has the bigger dick?
No, it was everybody's just trying to pierce God. And so we're just trying to find and pierce God with our. It's like a Tower of Babel, right? Tabber? Okay. Anyway, yeah. Next question. See, like that's what we do. We talk all the time, and we go on awful tangents. Now, the camera is still.
He had me on a hike once. We like hiking. We love hiking. And I swear we spent basically the entire hike talking about his shoes. I was not lying when I said that he can do that. But at the same time,
They're not just shoes. They're amazing boots.
we might have to talk about these shoes because honestly, how is that not one of your like bigger expenses that you do not regret?
If any time in my life, Thursday Boots says like, "Hey Alex, we really like that you are like these boots."
We'll sponsor an episode of your podcast.
That wouldn't happen. But if they're just like, "Hey Alex, we like that you like your boots," I would go fucking mad. I'd love it. They're great. Thursday Boots, buy them. That's it. No.
When I was trying to get a pair of work shoes, he was trying to convince me for them. But in my line of work,
I know you wouldn't use
it
those.
wouldn't work.
No.
There are wonderful shoes. I'm not saying I wouldn't gladly have a pair of them. But I also noticed like there's a difference. Like there's a little bit of an investment in time that you have to make to keep them in the quality and in the shape that they're
Well, because a pair of shoes that you buy for $70, you don't give a shit about. Usually, like you might dust them off and you'd be like, okay, that's it. But then you don't give a shit after that.
in. Yes.
But
I've also learned a lot about shoe care with him.
yeah, and as Dank Pod says, the biggest companies make the biggest crap. So I agree with it.
Not a bad. Yeah. I agree with that statement as well.
You have another one?
Oh, yeah, sure. Let's see. I mean, what is something that you believe to be true for a long time until you found out that you were wrong? This could be quite controversial.
That I believed for a long time that I found out was wrong.
I know I've had a few. I'm not even sure if I'm willing to admit them, but I know I've had a few.
That's a hard question for me to even think about.
Yeah, well, you're pretty matter-of-factual. You are a very logical thinker.
Yeah, I usually just look things up.
We can roll back to that one.
Yeah, I don't even know that I have an answer for that. I think I tried to answer it on the sheet and I just couldn't. Do you have an answer to that? Just anything?
See, it's kind of a dangerous one. I don't know if I want to go into this episode yet. We'll have to talk about it maybe later. We could
Okay.
reapproach it.
There might be more controversial episodes coming forward.
No doubt.
Things like, politics, relationships,
Mine is focusing on religion right now. Is the kind of aspect
economy, religion, all that stuff.
of relationships. Yeah, you mentioned that one.
Yeah. So we're going to talk about a lot of different things.
Can get saucy.
Okay. I don't have an answer. I don't really have an answer. The problem for me is that usually when I don't know something, I look it up. And I don't just look it up in one source. I don't just go to the news or whatever. I go to like 5 different sources and then I like research it. Like I like test things if I can. I do whatever I can to try to figure it out. And that's
I know. It's one of the traits about you I really has gravitated me towards wanting to be your friend because you've taught me a lot about that, like speaking in terms of what you know, and like if you don't know, don't speak as if you know it. Like say, well, maybe that's the case, but I'm really not sure. Like,
well, it's
only be definitive about what you say if you can be definitive about it.
The word is epistemology. Like we've learned that,
Ooh,
right?
we want to do a podcast episode on that. That's one of the things we're thinking about.
That's another thing, yeah. But
Yeah.
my sound is kind of weird. But epistemology is really important to know how to think and why to think things, and just actually go into depth. Anyway, it helps you not know bullshit. And I think that, I guess one of the things that might fit here is like a really deep question is like, for me, I used to think everybody was good, that basically every person was really good and nobody wanted to hurt anybody else, and the things that happen like in other countries or whatever, that's so far away from me, it's not going to affect me ever, and it doesn't matter. And like those aren't real situations, right? They're not really bad people, they're just whatever. No, I'm wrong about that, right? Like it's like a romantic like you want everybody to be perfect idea, and that's not real. So that might be one, but that's kind of a weird one. That's just kind of like a worldview you hold, or I hold, or whatever. Yeah, I don't have any.
That's something we can go into a little more. Maybe not tonight, but
Yeah, not tonight.
because I know you've learned that lesson very early on at a very quick age. So
I did.
you should pick the next one.
Oh God. Okay.
You know it. I have a little cheat sheet. We came prepared. Oh, it was the one I was thinking of.
What?
Oh, that one.
That's exactly the one I picked. What is the last book you read?
Are we wanting to talk about the one that you and I are currently working on?
Okay.
Because I thought that would be a good.
So I listen to a lot of audiobooks. I have hundreds of them.
You have thousands of them.
I don't know about thousands. Maybe like 300.
The list.
Okay. So I have a lot of audiobooks. Okay. I used to read a lot, but over time I discovered I just didn't have time to read, and my eyes got messed up and whatever. Anyway, so I transitioned over to audiobooks once I started driving a lot. And now that I don't drive a lot, it's still good for like in the office or something. I can put on an audiobook, and it's not just like somebody reading to you. And some of them are, like, some of them are, but those are really bad ones. I wouldn't go with those ones. Every other one is usually like an acting, like they're actually acting and they're putting out scenes and doing things, and they're actually really good. And
It's amazing how the narrator can truly make or break the book.
makes the book come alive.
The voice actor who's oh my gosh, and you've introduced me some really excellent.
So I don't think you even like listened to audiobooks before you met me.
Oh no, that's not true. I definitely did.
Okay.
My mother and I, we love Janet Ivanovich, who does this whole series, the Stephanie Plum series. It's just like a crime series. It's really funny. And we would listen to theirs on like vacations and things like that. No, I was an audiobook person,
Well,
just not with the same veracity or
the genres.
genres.
So when me and Kelly met, I don't think we really talked about audiobooks. And then at some point, not at the beginning, and then at some point I'm like, here, try this book. What was the first one I showed you? Was that?
It was one that I never
If it
went
wa-
back to. The guy who's in decapitated his head and is in a jar, and we never went
Oh.
back to that one.
Yeah. Okay. So that one is. Let me pull that one up, just because we're gonna mention it. I wanna.
Yeah, the one that I got hooked on and listened to. I'm kind of almost embarrassed to admit, but it's not bad. It's
Yeah.
humor.
Don't talk about that one.
No, can't really talk about that one.
Not
But
in this episode. That's like
we haven't
a late
explored
at
the
night
limits
episode.
on how rated this is gonna get,
Yeah.
so we're trying to keep it.
We Are
rated.
Legion, We Are Bob, Dennis E. Taylor. It's a great one, and he does done a really good job with all his other books.
Mhm.
But we listened to like a few chapters maybe, and you were like, "Whoa." Yeah, and so I sent her a bunch of books,
And I've been hooked ever since.
yes, and she's apparently I'm a bookie now because it's
It's
audiobooks.
my bookie. Get it?
Get it? Yeah. It's a terrible joke. It's a dad joke, and I'm a dad, so that works.
Ha, 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 so
Anyway,
punny.
So
Yes, the latest one. I want one that you actually are working on without me, and then we'll also talk about the one that you and I are working
I
on
was
together.
literally listening to it until you walked in the door. Victorious by Jack Campbell. It's the like 6th in the series for the Lost Fleet series, I believe.
Ooh.
It's a running retreat book. Basically, imagine warships, and you've kind of had this idea.
Yeah.
Warships
It
in
sounded
the
good.
like if all of the U.S. Navy faced against the Russian the Japanese Navy, but instead of like fighting the Japanese Navy in World War II, it was like the Japanese Navy, like the U.S. Navy was coming out of like the Persian Gulf or something, and had to come to Eastern United States. Like they're like going through such a slog. It's like a running retreat type book or book series, and it's really good. I like it. I don't think a lot of people would like it. It's very sci-fi, very
I don't
like
know, but I would like to know for any of you who are listening, would you guys want to hear us do like reviews on audiobooks? Because I know that's something he and I were considering.
I'm already thinking about it, and I really want to do some reviews on audiobooks, and I would
I hope
flash
we
it up
do.
on screen and say, hey, this is what this kind of book is like. This is why I like it. Because I haven't seen any good reviews.
I will happily do the conversations with you on those, just
No.
because I like most of the books that you read. We're besties for reasons. We have
Yeah.
a lot of common interests, and
I think
the one I'm working on is called Call to Arms by Jay Allen. Obviously, he, being my bookie, gave me the series, so he knows all of what it's about. So, in which you probably can summarize it a hell of a lot better than I can, but it's a feud between two opposing forces, and it's in space, which makes me very happy about it. It's a
If-
space battle, hell.
if any of you
Very
listening to this,
technically
watching this,
advanced.
are nerds, think Stellaris and two competing factions. That's what it is.
It's excellent. It's excellent. And the narrator, that's one of the really good
So
ones.
good.
He switched from the first book, and it took me a little while to adjust, but I'm really happy with
They're
him.
both good.
They're both
They're
really
both
good.
amazing.
They really are. But then the two of us are together. We're working on Pandora's Star, and it's been frustrating me because I really want more of this.
Okay,
He started
we
me
have to
on
finish
this. We do. It's so good. This is one of the most complex books that I've ever gotten the pleasure of getting into. There's just so much involved. But I could see how somebody could consider it to be a slow read if they were reading it. But the author, or the voice actor who's narrating this for us, correct me if I'm wrong, he also is the one who does Spellmonger, right?
Yes.
Absolutely. Probably one of my favorite ones ever.
Mm-hmm.
And he's able to make it so captivating, even in the slower parts, that as we are listening to this together, I'm picking up on these fine details that end up coming into play later on. Every single detail in this book matters. You just don't know when it's going to matter. And I love that. Like, this author, whoever wrote Pandora's Star, he's breaking the rules of, like, common book writing constructs. And it explores really, like, complex life questions that many people would be too scared to answer. Like, if you could live forever, how would you live differently? What would marriage look like if you were able to live forever? Hello, audio moment. Sorry about that. And it explores other angles as well of, like, again, still sci-fi concepts, like if wormholes are invented, how would that affect society?
And it actually goes through it. It doesn't just say,
Yes.
wormholes, here you go. It actually talks about them and goes
Like
through.
how it could possibly exist, like the science, theoretical science behind it. Yeah.
It's not just that really gets me. It's like it actually integrates it into the story and actually gives it some, like, here are the rules. We don't break the rules, and then goes with them.
Mm-hmm.
Right? That's one of the things that really bugs me about some sci-fi or some series or whatever. They'll make a rule and then they'll break it immediately, or they'll break it 5 minutes later, or like the hero can break it and nobody else can. Why? I hate it. It's a weird trope. By the way, that's Pandora's Star by Peter F. Hamilton. When I was in high school, I started reading that book, and I had a hard time getting past it. Like, it just kept feeling like every single chapter they'd introduce new characters, new story arcs, new ideas, new thoughts, and it didn't collate. And then I listened to the audiobook as an adult and as, like, I don't know, 22, 23, and it was massively different. Like, it was like once you get past the beginning, it starts to all come together, and that's what we're about, and it really starts to make a difference then. When you lay that down, don't face it towards me. You hear more reverb then. Anyway,
Sorry about that.
That's
We're
okay.
learning.
We're learning, yeah.
I'm trying not to put it down, honestly, because then I know that it's always pointing at my mouth, but
Yeah.
this is what this is about.
But it's a really good book, and I hope to listen to it with you so you can listen to more of it, because it's an amazing book and it has some really interesting...
I'm already planning on listening to it again. I want to listen to it the first time with you because you helped me pull out, like, the finer details that I would otherwise, like,
that you have to remember for
miss.
later, yeah.
And, like, yeah, the ones that I have to remember for later. But I already know, because I want to be able to grasp it again in entirety, this is one of those ones that's just worth reading through more than once to fully grasp everything about it. And another thing, like, that's just not usual. Like, books, for me, at least the ones I'm drawn to, I can easily just read them once and I've gotten the content of them and I don't need to go back to them. But this one is one that I could easily read 2-3 times, maybe.
I like complex books. I like complex ideas in entertainment whatsoever. Books are a big thing for me.
Sorry, I just noticed a question that we already answered, which is, what's your favorite piece of clothing that you ever own? I feel like you just don't talk about it.
All right, well, we can go on to the next one. So, yeah.
Because
What's your favorite
no,
piece of
I
clothing?
was saying that you answered that.
Is it the shoes? Excuse me.
Yeah, I was figuring you had already answered that with your shoes.
I don't know that my shoes are my favorite.
Oh, plot thickener.
I would probably say it's the jacket over there.
Oh, yeah, that is a really nice jacket.
I really like the jacket. It's a piece of, it's like a $50 generic garbage wool jacket, but I love it. It just feels so warm.
Collar.
God, no. Stop.
He does.
Nope.
He pops his collar every single time.
Nope. Stop.
You can go back and look at his photos.
We're done. Nope. Nope.
I definitely don't know if I even have a favorite piece of clothing, because with my journey that I've gone on, my wardrobe, if anything, I think it's like, what I like about my wardrobe right now is the fact that, like, I feel so loved and so cared for by the people in my life, because probably 2/3 of my wardrobe are donated, and definitely at one point it was all 100% donations.
Well, see, most of my clothing is minimalist, so, like, other than this red shirt, which is kind of funny because red shirt, everything is gray, and I don't like that. I want to change it, but like,
oh, it's so hard. I've tried. I held you a unique pair of pants, and you were like, but I can't.
No, every pair of pants is like exactly the same, and then I have like 1 or 2 different ones, and then that's it. And then, yeah, I like my socks. My socks are nice.
Oh, yeah. I mean, I've been trying to learn a little bit more about that type of approach when I go shopping with my best friend. She's been trying to teach me about similar concepts, like buy things in neutral colors that will always coordinate together and things like that. I know you don't care about these things.
I can't do it. My thing
well,
is,
you do, because gray is considered a natural color. You do it. You're just stuck on gray.
So my problem is, I'm like, I don't want to go black because it's like emo or something. And if everything's
it's
black,
like the
then
one
it just
other
looks
color
weird.
you will usually buy, though.
Well, and then it's like, okay, do I pick a random color that like might not work for every situation? Like my dress shirts are probably the ones that have the most color in them, because like one's pink, one's red, one's green, one's blue. They're all over the place. But the thing is, for me, if I go into my drawer, right, and I'm looking for a pair of pants, and I'm like, okay, what do I want to wear today? I'll like pick out the ones I don't like and move them aside, and then I'll get the ones I do like, and I'll be like, okay, there's 2. Which one do I choose? And then I'll never wear the ones I don't like.
Yeah, so what's the point of having the ones you don't
Exactly.
like?
So I want to actually get pants that are all the same. So I always wear different ones, and I just don't. I just look at the color or whatever. That's all I care about. That's just.
I just happen to be. Mine. I focus more on my career, which I don't think that my, like my boss or my employer would ever tell me not to have like a minimalist closet. He would probably not care at all. But I do find, like, because I'm the first impression, and I'm an admissions counselor at a local college. Because I'm the first impression of the prospective students who are exploring that college, I think it's important for me to have some variety, some color, some pizzazz, pick up that interest.
But you're also a woman.
Yes, there is like a certain level of expectation as a woman to...
I'm not even talking about the expectation. You just are a woman, so you like colors, you like different things. I don't know. Maybe not. Maybe not.
I mean, I'm dressed down. I literally chose to wear this dress today because it's the last day of summer, and I'm like living in the fact that I want to have one last summer outfit.
Well, like my point was more like, I don't think that my way is the right way. I just think it's the right way for me.
Oh yeah.
So yeah.
But there's definitely purpose behind it.
Yeah,
I would like to implement some of those things, because I'm running into the current problem right now where you've already seen it. Like, we're in the change of season. It's about to go into fall. Now, granted, this is because of my journey. Not to go into too much depth on it. We can always do another episode if you guys wanted to know. But I've lost 150 plus pounds, most of which happened since July of last year or whatever. Thank you. But as a result, replacing that wardrobe has been a bit much. It's very costly, right? So I don't have.
Costly for poor people, and we are low income, so.
Yeah, no kidding. But yeah, and as a result of it, like I know I qualify for Dress for Success, and I've been meaning to go there because that would be a huge game changer for me, and probably an easy way for me to just have my solution. But it's definitely something where I have to kind of think ahead. Like I just don't have those outfits to create that minimalist closet yet, because it does take a little more thought process as you're planning out each specific item to make sure it works. Like you would be more likely to do layers, right? And a couple undershirts that are basic, but then having a sweater or something to go over it so that it's just.
This all goes right over my head. I'm just like, shirt, pants, done. That's it.
And within reason.
Mostly.
I know.
I was thinking about the flannel. I was thinking about
Yes.
getting a flannel shirt.
We were in the store the other day, and you were actually thinking about the logistics behind having a little more of an expanse. So I know it
well,
doesn't go over your head as much as you're letting on right now.
Like I know it doesn't as much, but like my thing is like it just feels so unimportant. Like, and I'm like, okay, if I wear a flannel, well, then I'm not gonna want to wear my jacket, or like I'm gonna be too warm, or I'm gonna like, I don't know, like I can't wear the jacket in like springtime because now I have a flannel on. It's just, and then I'm just like, okay, I can't wear in the summer, like it's gonna be too hot. So
yeah, it is a fine
I don't know.
balance. You want things in your closet that are actually going to be well used.
I guess I don't know. I'm weird. We know that.
Oh, there's so many. I think you got to pick the next one because
Okay, fine.
I've got this. These are for like a few really good ones.
Oh man, what would your perfect room look like?
I thought you were gonna pick that because I know you and I have had some interesting conversations related to that.
What is wrong with this?
While you're adjusting your stand,
Yeah, but it's like,
I noticed. Yeah.
okay, I'm just gonna let it sit there. I don't care.
Yeah, I don't think it's that bad.
So this depends on what it means. Like perfect room, is that like living room, bedroom? Okay,
Oh, I think
what's your
it's-
favorite room? Let's go with that. Like if you could have anything in your favorite room, what would your favorite room be? Like fully stocked kitchen to what you want, or fully like perfect living room, perfect bedroom. Which one would you choose?
The interesting thing is I think for functionality purposes, a lot of people would pick the kitchen. I think living room, just because that's the room where I feel like you introduce the most people to. You make them feel at, like if I'm having company over, that's where we're going to spend the space. So that's the space where I'm going to dedicate the most like comfort to, I suppose, if that makes sense.
It makes sense. I might go the same way, but
It's also like the room with your hobbies.
I almost don't care about other people though.
No.
Not
yeah.
in that sense. I would rather have like a really good gaming room, but then like I already kind of like my setup, and I don't need much. I just need like a 5x5 room. I'd be fine.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't think I'd go kitchen either, because like I could go with minimal kitchen, and with that Everplate stuff, like that's great.
I once had an amazing kitchen in my rent-to-own place, and it was huge. And then I moved to the place where I'm at now, and I feel like I use my kitchen more now than I did when I had that amazing huge
I've
one.
had some terrible kitchens. Like I've had literally like this much counter space, and like I had to put my microwave on it. Like
Yeah, so no counter space at all.
I've had to like cook on
shoe
a
closets.
like table. No, I don't even think it would be my bedroom, because like to me a bedroom is like you go to sleep.
Correct, same. Big pet peeve of mine is when people put TVs in their bedrooms.
Which I literally have in
I know.
my bedroom now.
I don't care when other people do it, but for me, it's like, no, because I want to sleep in there. You have your bedroom, your TV in there because, I mean, you've got your son and you'd like to watch things out here while he's watching things in there.
Yeah, or he can watch something, or like it's another space that you can use in my house, because my house is literally 2 rooms, besides the bathroom. But
Yeah, but when it's bedtime, I've never seen you turn that TV off when it's bedtime. Like it's on. You never turn the TV on when it's bedtime. You're just
usually, depends on what kind of mood I'm in. Also depends if it's movie night or something. It depends. I don't
I'm
think
not here for those. I'm just a bestie.
correct. She's not here for those. I don't know. I might choose like a family room idea, like a perfect family room, or like
Yeah,
a
that's what I'm
garage.
saying. Ooh, I could see that going a long way for you.
Because like I would love like a lift in my garage. That'd be amazing. Just lift up my car and fix it.
You would need like a 2-car garage at least, for one side to be all about actually fixing vehicles, and then the other side would be for all your projects. Like you would need a
Oh,
like a
man.
wood shop. Like I hate to use that word, but you know, like I would want you to have like one of those toolkits
Yeah.
that like goes almost to the wall,
That would be it.
like
Yeah.
a nice pegboard wall where you can put like in like the different hooks so you
I
can
would
hang all your.
customize that shit.
Exactly.
I
That's a
would
very
so customize that
customizable thing. But I was also thinking you were going to take it more so or you could get into the conversation about things like outsolation and room design. Like, I was surprised you didn't kind of take that angle.
No, because I think it's a very basic question. You could go that
Sure.
way,
Oh,
but that's a whole nother episode conversation type thing. We're not even going through all these questions, and it's taking us forever. And they're very quick questions. This is what we do.
Yeah, we'll pick up maybe 2, maybe 3 more, but in the meantime,
How long has we been going here?
45 minutes.
Oh yeah, I see that now. Good.
I'm
45
keeping
minutes.
an eye on it. All right. If I feel like the thing with like this question is I feel like you and I both value hobbies enough that we actually already do invest in them. So we could talk about it, but
Oh, what hobby would you get into if time and money weren't an issue? Yeah, I think this one is kind of weird because we do.
Right.
The only thing I could add is like, I would love to actually have like a wood shop, like a small wood shop, or just a shop in general, like with wood tools, basic wood tools, basic car tools, like everything, so I could fix anything, be very frugal, or traveling. I don't have the money for
interesting.
traveling.
I like that. Yeah, that is a hobby that you've not really allowed yourself to explore much at all.
Agreed. Yeah. I mean, I have a little bit, and I try to like when I go on dates or something or whatever, but I don't.
That's very local.
Yeah, very local.
To get you to even like explore a new hiking area is a stretch for me.
What? Okay, this is another question. What's the furthest you've gone from your home area, like town or whatever?
I mean, my family took a cruise when my mom remarried.
Okay.
We went to Cozumel, Mexico, Jamaica, and then an island. Apparently, I went up to. Yeah, no, I know I went to the Thousand Islands, like on the Canadian side. And then as far out west, I mean, does it count that my father lives in Mississippi? So that's kind of home. But I've gone out that far. But I'm home when I'm there because he lives there. So I don't know if that counts.
I mean, I think that counts. I don't even mean like travel. I just mean like in general. Like, so, for example, I've never been out of the tri-state area.
I know that, yeah.
Like I've been up to Vermont, I
Mhm.
think, maybe, Massachusetts, down to North Carolina,
Mhm.
and West Ohio, and that's it. Like
Mhm.
that's my area. That's it.
I know. I would like to be able to like help you with that a little more, but it's hard because it's
It
like
doesn't matter. At least I don't feel like it matters. So like the hobbies though that I actually like and that we already do is like I game. I have this awesome rig. Well, sort of awesome. It's getting.
I
old
think it's
now.
awesome.
Yeah, I mean, I hope to make it better, but you know, we hike, right? Like I like cooking, which now with the Everplay is kind of easier. Yeah, it's a hard question. It's a really hard question.
Yeah, but we both are the type of people who invest in that just as we find value in trying to invest in yourself a little bit and become an independent person. It's something I know I had to learn the hard way, but
The biggest thing is finding a hobby, not just like doing random things. It's finding a hobby, I think, and that's what everybody needs to do because a lot of people don't have an actual hobby, something that they can occupy their time otherwise. And even you know, like we've talked about before, where like you're like, oh, now I want to go out and do something, but it's like middle of the night or something, and yeah. So even that, right?
I have a hard time relaxing. That's my problem.
Yeah, you like working out, and it's just the way you are now.
Yeah.
It's
It's hard to
great.
get me to stop. I
wish
mean, I've
I
always
wish I
had a
could do
hard
that.
time stopping. That's been a big pet peeve of my father's, I know, is that, like, he always feels like he has to entertain me every single second of the day, because I've always had that, like, never wanting to stop. It's just I've applied that to physical activities, which my physical activities define me and make me feel more who I am than most of my other activities. In my adulthood, that's like a good question, is like, what are things that you have kind of found as you've grown up that have helped define you as you? You know what I mean? I feel like you've always been you. You've never hidden who you are. So you probably don't know how to relate to this.
I've had a computer since I was 6. Even before that, I had like fake computers, and like okay, I haven't had a computer since I was 6. I've just been around computers that I could use since I was 6. So like, you know, family business has an old computer that they just have sitting in the corner. I'll jump on it. And that's kind of been my thing. I mean, there's Aiden, like literally since I was an adult, like became an adult. But I don't think that's really affected me, right? Like I would be the same person.
Aiden is his son, by the way.
Honestly, just everything that I do to be frugal, I think is a huge part of who I am. Like I do all of my own projects, I do all of my own repairs if I can, I do all that stuff myself. And yeah, it kind of defines me because like I don't have the money to just pay somebody to do it, so I do it. I learn how to do it and I do it. And
But I also think it's a character trait of you, because I know a lot of people who don't know how to afford things and they don't go to lengths that you do. So that is definitely a way to separate who you are as an individual. So it is a good example.
You know, I don't know if I'm actually getting like double voice.
I don't know.
It sounds sort of like I am, but I don't know. Let us know if I'm getting double voice here. I think Kelly sounds really good, but I don't know why. I guess you guys can't. Excuse me. You guys can't hear her through this because it's such a good mic, but you can hear me through that because it's such a bad mic. But then, yeah. Anyway, it's weird because it's so bad it's good. I have another one of those, but I wanted to use this because the software's better, or there is software for it.
That's good. We're getting there. As I said,
Yeah,
this is
we'll see.
just scraping one.
Yeah. But what about you for your hobbies and like things that you have changed?
Yeah. So when I was growing up, I grew up in a family that really valued music and the arts. And so they tried letting me have the exploration of sports, but allowing me to commit to it and really figure it out was just not, they didn't know how. And then, you know, other life events that occurred, like family divorce and stuff, made it really hard to really pinpoint and structure it. So I have some backgrounds in trying sports and activities, but never really being able to like really implement and find my niche.
That's interesting because like my you know my upbringing, but like I don't want to go over it now. But I did played soccer. I played a bunch of different instruments, and I never really found my place in any of them.
Yeah, that was kind of where I was leaning towards, thinking that you really found
scouting. I think is the one thing that I really did, and I did a lot. And I think it's because it's such a diverse range of things. Jack of all trades, master of none. It's so many different things in one, right? You learn, you know, one day you're learning camping, and the other day you're learning swimming. Right?
You and I are both like that more than people are like. I think like you like scream that loud that you are jack of all trades, master of none. But as people have come to kind of get to know me a little bit more, they're like, wait, you know how to play the piano, you know how to sing, you are an athlete, you paint beautifully. And so it's just different ways that you and I are jack of trades, or Jill of all trades.
Jack and Jill. Um, well, and I think that it's interesting because like, yeah, my family didn't care, right? But also like, I don't think
If
I've
anything,
ever.
I feel like because they didn't care, it allowed you to just be like, well, then I'm gonna frickin' be me.
Yeah, and maybe there's a little bit of nurture in there where like if I was shown like, oh, how to do art or crafts or whatever, maybe I would have been more creative and artsy.
I definitely was. I think it was a lot of like my family's influence that made me have those. But then as my adulthood, I actually remember having like round out fights and spats with people who truly cared a lot about me because whenever I was feeling very down or depressed, they were like, go do these things, your art, your paints and stuff. And I'm like, that's truly not what I'm wanting. And I finally found, running, and that's me.
Yeah, you enjoy that.
That's all mine. I found that myself. I discovered that on my own. That is me. And I think that's why I've easily become so obsessed with it. Because nobody can take it away or say it's anyone else's influence other than my own.
And you kick ass with all the sports you do. Like, I'm not
Thank
even
you.
kidding.
I also am a softball catcher, and I also recently dabbled in the arts of mountain biking. But
Well, here's the
I
thing.
mean,
You've
cycle
done
and
all
swim.
that since July, basically.
No, I started running in January.
Well, no, I'm saying like since July and your weight loss
July
journey.
2020. Yeah.
Yeah, like you've done so many different things, right? And you're already amazing at them, which is a huge.
Supergirl.
I'm trying to give you a compliment.
I'm sorry.
I wish I could do half the shit she does. It's just
I recently, he was very supportive, bestie of all, completed my first half marathon. And yeah, that was like 16 weeks of very intense training.
good, awesome.
Yeah, you're right. It's not something like I will toot my own horn here, which is the first time I've ever done that. But why not? It's a good space to do it. It's a safe space.
Safe space.
Safe space. Not a lot of people have accomplished the things that I've done. First off, like the massive amount of weight loss that I've done, and then taking the dedication to make those lifestyle changes and make them permanent, and then also implementing something to encourage them to stay permanent by finding a passion that keeps me in a fit and healthy lifestyle, and then really driving forward with it as intense as I've done. A lot of people will do things with a very strong passion that keeps them going, like you and your gaming. Something that defines them for who they are, and they're like, I'm going to protect this and keep it and make it mine and not let anyone touch it.
You know what the weirdest thing is that even though like I would say I'm a PC gamer kind of first, I like haven't done that very much recently, right? Like I do it, but like it again, it's jack of all trades. I do a lot of different things, and it's like tonight I enjoyed cooking, right? And in 2 days
was
I'll
delicious.
enjoy hiking. Yeah, it was really good.
Some kind of sausage pasta dish. Ooh, yum.
In 2 days or so I'll go hiking and I'll enjoy that, right? Like, so it's like I enjoy multiple different things. It's just like this is kind of my safe space where I relax, kind of like you were saying about the running or whatever.
Oh yeah, when I'm out on a long run, people are like, how do you run for 3 hours? And you're like, you don't stop? No, I don't stop. Like, and what's your speed? 10 to 11 minute mile, depending on the distance. They're like, what? Like, yeah, I mean, I'm not that fast. I'm considered average, but yeah.
That's amazing. Again, in less than a year. So I think that's awesome.
But one
Anyway.
last question.
Yeah, let's go ahead and do one more question. I think it'll be good.
I guess this is not a bad one. What do you wish you knew more about?
Oh, come on. That's an easy one to answer for me.
Go ahead. Then
All right, we'll
pick
answer
another
this one and you go on to the next one. Does that sound good?
Yeah, well, you pick the last one.
I want to know more about everything.
It's so true. So
Literally
true.
everything. I want to know about everything. I search everything. I look up everything. Knowledge is power.
It's true. It's very true.
I love it. You?
Is there any particular thing recently, though, that you've niched on or wanted specifically?
I know so much, so it's really hard.
Not cocky at all.
Nope. I mean, like getting this stuff set up. is I'm dabbling in the streaming stuff, and I've done that before, especially because this is probably going to go up on Twitch. But I've done it a little bit before, but it was more like just streaming for fun, and I kind of threw things together real quick. I would love to really get deep into that stuff and video editing and stuff like that, but I'm going to have a hard time with that. I know that. I don't have enough time to devote to it. So
it's a lot of devotion to take into editing and things like that, yeah?
Yeah, it takes a lot of time, and I just don't think I'm going to be able to do it. And this video, for example, is probably going to be minimally edited, if at all, and then directly uploaded, and we'll just go from there. I'm going to try to do editing on the fly, basically, as we do the streams. And we'll just go through it like it's a live stream, literally like a gaming live stream, and then go and see what happens.
I love it.
Yeah, I think that's perfectly fine. I would love to know more about that stuff specifically, but I don't think I'll ever have the time to really do it. I mean, you know.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
How about yourself?
Following my passions lately, it's been either triathlon and or mountain biking. I'm very guilty. If you were to look at my current YouTube history, you would just see a ton of videos about mountain biking. It's hilarious.
Oh, man. Yeah, my YouTube history is really bad.
I mean, hilariously enough, you're still going to also see things like PBS videos about quantum physics and things like that. There was another one that just came out about quantum mechanics, and I was just like all about it. Like, I still have a lot of satisfaction in really getting like into those little videos.
And those are things I also showed you. Oh, shit. Yeah. Okay. And
I mean, but
next one, let's go.
hey, you said it was your turn. I said it was your turn.
All right,
This time,
fine,
maybe
fine.
can you stick
I'll
to
pick.
it?
Give me a second.
This is the last question. It's got to be a good one. You didn't like the one I picked, so putting on you.
Well, so it's such a quick one, right? I want to learn everything. That's the answer.
It's true though. It's good.
Oh, that's a small one too.
There's a whole slew of things that we could choose from. Take your
There are
time.
dozens of questions. Yeah.
I know, and they're good ones too. Funny thing is that even though like we have this list tonight, he and I are like notorious for asking random questions to each other just to stimulate conversation.
We literally spent an hour talking about like 4 questions.
Really? Do you think it was only 4?
4 or 5.
Oh.
6.
Either way. Yeah, I mean, if it's 6, then it's like taking 10 minutes per question. I don't think that's terrible.
Let's see here. We already answered that one. All right. What's the best way to start the day? I have my answer.
I have an answer, but I don't know if we got.
I mean, PG-13, okay? Don't go too far, damn. Maybe run
My
away.
parents are going to be watching this list, I mean, honestly.
Maybe, who knows?
It's true.
My answer is shower.
Yeah.
I do it every morning. Like, I am asshole,
Yes.
and then I am awesome.
From asshole to awesome in one shower.
And that's the song. No, you're not, dude. Don't lie.
Cheese brain.
Terrible joke. Okay, but that's what I would say. That and then Diet Pepsi after my shower.
Oh gosh.
Oh man.
Just right off the bat on your crack.
Yep. Go ahead.
I start the mornings off the same way with a shower, and I guess mine is a wonderful cup of something that you also really hate and cringe, but is my vanilla chai tea, because I mix it with a scoop of collagen powder.
It's not even coffee.
No, well, I can't have coffee.
I know.
Yeah. But yeah, I mix it with a little bit of.
It's
French
just funny
vanilla.
because we both hate coffee, and everybody in the world
Oh,
loves
no,
coffee.
no. I love coffee.
Okay, you can't
I
have
can't.
coffee. Yeah.
I would drink decaf, which, if any of you guys know of a really good decaf coffee, like, send it my way, because it's hard to get a really good decaf
You
coffee.
don't ask me.
No, the best I've come across is there's a cute little cafe in New Holland Coffee Co. that's pretty darn good, and my sister has there's like a Dungeons and Dragons coffee out there. Oh, and it is so cool, and it is so good. Oh, it's so good, and their decaf is really good, but I don't know where she orders it through, so I don't know how to get my hands on it.
You haven't asked?
I really need to. I've honestly just thought of kidnapping her decaf coffee on her, but she's breastfeeding.
Just
She
break
needs
into her
that.
house just for coffee. Yeah.
Oh, legitimately every
No,
time.
this
that
is
I
what
make
I'll
a
do. I'll
pot.
boil down a Diet Pepsi and then make it into powder and then give it to you.
There's not a part of that that sounds appetizing. Just roll it out into a line.
Oh, God. PG-13, Kelly. Come on. Oh,
So we both start off with a shower and a drink. It's just different drinks.
man. A shower and a shot of bourbon. Yep.
Shower and a shot of whiskey. We also both don't drink. So
I do, but I just don't drink very often. Like ever. It's just, I don't know. That's another conversation for another day. Anyway.
yeah, this is fun.
We have a lot of questions and things that we like to talk about.
Mhm.
And I've been compiling a list for a long time. Oh, this is okay, we're good. I think it was behind for a second there. Not that one. This one. All right. So, like, oh man, I have reviews of games. I have stuff about podcast strengths, how to cope with things. Like these are like life coach questions. Excuse me. Life coach questions and ideas and thoughts. Budgeting. We'll talk about. Drugs, as in like, morality things. So morality around drugs and prisons and all kinds of stuff. I'm sure we'll talk about all this type of stuff. We have a lot of this.
I would really like to dive into like specific topic for next podcast episode.
Yeah, I
that'd be
think next time what we're going to do is I'm going to make like a Google Doc and we'll bring this up on the screen.
fun.
And then what we can do is we can sort things into categories. And like, this is life coach stuff. This is like whatever. And I can like go over things like my budget and like just change the numbers a little bit and then be like, okay guys, this is how you like make a budget. And this is how you handle this. This is how you handle that or whatever. Because I don't know. I think I have a pretty specific and like detailed budgeting system. There's a bug here now. Okay. It's flying around here. But anyway, so yeah, we have a lot of different ideas and things to talk about. And whether or not, if there's anything else that ever comes up or if anybody has questions or thoughts or ideas or whatever, let us know. Again, this isn't really like a huge, obviously huge budget thing or a huge like deal or anything. We are just wanting to put our thoughts out there for ourselves.
Having fun.
Yes, exactly. So anyway, this is going to be good for, I think, for episode 0, the lost episode, let's call it. I don't know.
Ooh, I like that.
Just call it.
Well, it's just kind of like goes
just a
with our
lost
sci-fi
podcast.
nature. How many sci-fi things are out there that are like the lost episode or the lost treasure, the lost?
Every time I hear The Lost, I just think The Lost World, Jurassic Park 2. And that kind of freaks me out because nobody liked that movie, even though I did.
Oh, I liked it.
I liked it, yeah.
I liked it. I thought Jeff Goldblum
See,
was
best
hilarious.
friends. That's why we're best friends. It's weird. Anyway, I never knew that about you, but yeah.
Are you kidding? You do know I like dinosaurs, right?
No?
Why do you?
I don't think we've talked about dinosaurs.
Yeah, we have. I've read 6 books of a series all about them, and
that's different. That's different.
I love dinosaurs. I had a dinosaur-themed nursery. I've always loved dinosaurs since I was a child. Oh, I probably like dinosaurs hell of a lot.
We're gonna have to talk about this later. I just learned something new today, guys.
No, he didn't. He knew this. He's just not realizing he knew this.
I guess I'm an idiot then. That's okay. We already knew that. That's okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Just confirming.
Yeah, very confirming. All right, well, anyway, so I'm going to put this up on YouTube. I'm going to try to put it on Twitch. I don't think that works because I think you got to stream it from there.
Our Facebooks.
My Facebook at least, maybe yours, depending on what happens there. And that's probably it for now. We'll see.
We didn't even talk about our cups.
We don't need to talk about cups.
We don't
People
need to
can
talk
just
about our
assume.
cups. Guess about the cups. See if you can figure it out.
Oh, God. Okay, never mind. All right, guys.
Take that
Well, again, my name is Alex.
I'm Kelly.
And thanks for watching. Hopefully next time is a little bit better, a little bit more professional. We'll see what we can do about that, all right?
I'm not professional. I mean, I am, but.
And with that bombshell, good night.